just cast an incredible Ketrok game.
Yeah.
I know it's been a while. Sorry, what?
Did he do his thing? His, like, Mass Raven thing?
Yeah. I mean, he didn't really surprise me with much of what the strategy was. Lately, I mean, ever since they nerfed the Mass Raven so it doesn't do any damage on the Secret Missile thing, he's been opening Planetary Fortress Rush and Cyclones, and then if he has the opportunity, he'll go into Ravens.
Right.
And he did. I mean, nothing, again, that's the fun thing about Ketrok is the games he sends me, I'm never really surprised about what he does. But, man, they are good games just because they're back and forth and they're close. And, like, everybody loses 8 bases somehow. And we're down to 4 workers on each side. And it's good. He only sends me the best stuff. He's a good guy, that Ketrok.
Excellent.
It's actually funny how I got the replay because I messaged him on Twitter and I was like, hey, man, this was like 4 months ago. Do you have any replays for me? No response. Messaged him again 2 months ago. Hey, man, do you have any replays? No, nothing. And then in December, he actually, he replied all to an email that a bunch of people had been sent with an offer for an advertising, but they didn't BCC it, they CC'd it, so everybody's address was visible on the email. So he was like, 1, these idiots CC'd everybody on this advertisement offer, and 2, they're a total scam, don't use them.
Right.
So I responded and I was like, hey, thanks for the heads up, man. Also, you have a replay for me? And then last week, so 3 weeks later, he goes, hey, here's a great replay. So persistence pays off. That's how, I mean, I worked really hard for this replay, and by golly, it was worth it. It was fantastic.
And I can't wait for the next one in 2021.
I know, right? It's the pattern is not encouraging. But man, I mean, who else does Ravens anymore? Like Mass Raven used to be somewhat viable for a very small time at the professional level. But man, it has not been a long time. And who goes Mass Cyclone anymore since they made it so you have to have a tech lab on the factory? Nobody, right? So yeah, I just you don't get this stuff anywhere other than Ketrok at any decent level. I mean, I'm sure there are some platinum and diamond level players that are doing it and having success, and it's fun. But not at the Masters level where Ketrok lives. So no. So yeah. It was, man, I'm still kind of hyped from it. It was so much fun. So if you're listening to this,
there will be a link to the show notes.
Yeah.
It
might be up already. It might not be up for another couple days.
What day is it planned to come out?
Let me look at my calendar of planning real quick. So either the 21st or the 22nd for you, which would be the 20th or the 21st for me.
So basically this time next week.
Yeah, right around this time next week.
Ooh.
I don't think it'll be out by the time the pod posts.
No, but I will put a placeholder, and then when it does come out, there will be a link available.
Oh yeah, good idea. Smart. Yeah. Smart play. This is why you are the brains behind this operation.
Clearly.
Yeah, for stuff like that.
Speaking of being incredibly smart, to deviate away from StarCraft for just a minute, I blew someone's mind at my workplace, right? I don't consider them to be particularly an intellectual bunch, but I blew their minds because I knew 4 different ways to work out what 1/4 of a number was.
That is so impressive.
I know, right?
I'm going to say I can't think of 4 ways to work out. Wait, how many ways?
4 ways to work out
what a quarter. Yeah.
I'll give you a minute to see if you can come up with 4. It should not be that hard.
Okay. Multiply it by 25%.
Okay, yeah.
Divide it by 4.
Yep, that's 1. Then that's 2.
Cool. Divide it by 1/2 and divide it by 1/2 again.
Yeah. So divide by 2, divide by 2. Yeah, that's 1.
Does that work? That works.
Yeah.
Okay. And then subtract 100% and add 25%.
Yes. Those are the 4 I got.
Okay, fine. It's not that impressive. I take it back.
Yeah, it's really not. Yeah, and people at my work could not do that, right? They needed to work out what 1/4 of this recipe was to make some icing, and they couldn't work out what 1/4 of 15 is. So.
Oh, yeah, and you work in an industry where, like, measurements like that are really frequently
common
used. Yeah.
Yes.
It's not like my job where figuring out 1/4 of something doesn't really apply.
No.
Yeah. They're in the industry where this is a thing. You should tell your bosses to put that in the interview process.
See,
right?
I could do that, but the baker that we have now with this, he somehow walked into an interview with no shoes on and still got the job.
That's
right?
pretty good.
Like, I mean, sure. I don't know. I was wearing shoes at my interview. I feel like everyone else should.
Yeah, I think that's fair. But if you crush everything else, I don't really care if you're wearing shoes or not. Right?
Sure. But I don't know. You walk into a supermarket, there's fresh food around, there's other people. You're going to be like, are we going to hire the guy that turned up with no shoes? That's pretty filthy. Those are his feet walking along near all the food.
Yes. I mean, I would ask him to wear shoes once he got the job. But, like, not wearing the shoes at the interview isn't really a deal breaker for me. And if I was like, hey, man, we're thinking about offering you the job, but you'd have to wear shoes. And he was like, nah, man, I don't do shoes. I'd be like, all right, you're out.
Something very heavy would land on his foot sooner or later, and then he'd do shoes. But no, he's always worn shoes to work.
Good. Excellent. I'm glad he was able to overcome that problem he has with footwear. I guess.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know, man.
Maybe he couldn't afford the shoes. Like, he didn't have the job yet.
That's true. That's very true. Maybe he was homeless.
Well, he wasn't homeless. He just flew over from New Zealand. So.
Maybe he was homeless in New Zealand. You don't know.
I do know because I talked to him. He's a person.
Oh. Did you ask him why he didn't wear shoes to the interview?
I did.
What did he say?
His feet were hot.
I like that a lot. Is this a cool... Do you like this guy? I kind of like him.
He's an alright person, yeah.
Yeah. Every New Zealander I've ever known seems cool. It's like four people and they're all famous.
This is the guy with 14 kids, yeah.
Oh my gosh. And when I say that, you know it's serious because I'm the oldest of 9 kids.
Yeah.
So I'm usually immune to this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Whoa. New Zealand gets it done. Are they all alive or are some of these replacement kids?
No. I think the eldest is like 22. And then...
Wait. The oldest of the kids is 22?
Yeah. And I think his missus is currently pregnant with 15.
Holy what? So she's literally been pregnant for the last
Separate
20
mothers.
years.
Different parents, yeah.
All right. Well,
they're all his kids, but not all. Yeah. Only like the last 9 are the same parents.
That's pretty amazing. Okay.
Solid
Now that
effort.
we're all astounded. I'm sure a lot of people are wondering, how are the fires, Omicron? Australian fires are all over the news in my part of the world, which means it's a pretty big deal.
I don't know.
Okay.
If
So
the new-
not directly threatening Omicron, everybody. You can not worry about it now.
What I would say is no news is good news. If I haven't heard about it, they haven't gotten any worse. And it had rained here the last couple days, so that's always good as well for fires. Rain.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's good.
Yeah.
Are there projections? Are they expecting these to get smaller soon, or are they getting bigger, or are they just under control?
I have no idea.
Ah.
How would I know that? I don't keep up with the news. Right? Like,
That's fair. I guess I could Google that right now.
you could. Speaking of fires, my coworker with the 14 kids had to save his neighbor's house because their kids set it on fire.
Woo! That's bad
Yeah.
news. How do they do that?
Someone gave him lighters.
Oh. Well, I mean, okay. So how they set it on fire then?
They used the lighters to light the grass on fire, and then the backyard was on fire, and then the building started to catch fire. That's how fires work.
Of course.
Yeah.
Setting the grass on fire.
Yeah, the dry grass from the hot heat.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So according to this BBC really handy graph, which
Okay.
moves and stuff as it progresses through time, it looks like it hit its peak around January 3rd and has been
Alright.
going down since then. So that's good news.
That is good news. Yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of cool. We'll put it in the show notes, and then when it posts, you can see how it's doing live.
All right, send me the link.
There it is.
Thank you. Cool. A visual guide to Australia's bushfire crisis.
Yeah. There's a big picture of everything on fire. It's a pretty good picture.
I'm pretty sure that's a screenshot from the upcoming Doom game.
It really is. Are there trees in Doom?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Man, speaking of Doom, me and my housemate yesterday watched the Doom speedrun. Like,
Oh,
the
yeah.
person who completes, like, the game in 22 minutes.
Yep.
Those things are crazy.
How glitchy is it? 22 minutes seems pretty glitchy.
Very glitchy.
Okay. Because they were like, there's a Last of Us run. And I'm like, I would like to watch a Last of Us run. They're like, it's 6 minutes and 30 seconds. And I said, that is glitchy as all get out. It's pretty much going to be all. And then we went out of bounds and then we won, which was fun, in my opinion.
No. I'm not a huge fan of speedruns in general, but because I was trying to get my housemate to help me with the Halo Reach speedrun, you need to beat the legendary campaign in under 3 hours. We were just talking about speedruns, and he brought that up. And the Doom speedrun, it's like he crouches and looks at a corner in the map and then flings his camera and like jumps or something, but it catapults him at like Mach 10 across the map. It doesn't make any sense how it works. It's this really weird bug.
Yep.
It's stupid.
It is incredibly exploitive of the game engine, I'm sure.
Yes, very.
Probably the most fun one I've watched recently is Breath of the Wild. Just because there's not a lot of that, but there is a part where the guy totally somehow charges up a shield or something and flies over the entirety of Hyrule Field and gets to the castle, which you're not supposed to access until like the end of the game.
Right.
And then completes the rest of the castle like with just like no armor and like basic weapons. It's pretty impressive. So I like those kind of ones, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, at this point, it was like maybe 6 months ago, and at this point, I'm pretty sure they'd found a glitch that lets them just teleport to the end. But I don't know. I enjoyed that one.
Fair enough. Yeah. I really want to sit down and watch one of the Final Fantasy VII speedruns. Just because.
There's so much dialogue.
Well, I assume you can glitch some of it.
Yeah.
Because they take what is, to me, an impossibly long game and somehow beat it in like 9 hours.
Yeah.
Right? Which is still a long time for a speedrun.
Yep.
But,
Like, how many people are going to sit down for an entire 9-hour run of Final Fantasy?
I assume someone has. Like, I could see myself watching it in chunks, be like, today I'll watch an hour, then tomorrow I'll watch another hour.
Right.
But I don't think I could sit down and watch 9 hours of Final Fantasy straight.
Right. I don't think I could sit down and watch 9 hours of anything straight. I don't know if I have the attention span for anything at all.
Well, boy, am I going to try later today with Star Wars.
Oh, yeah, there's that plan of yours.
Yeah.
I don't know if the pod's aware of this plan. Do they know about this plan?
I don't think they know about this plan.
All right,
so,
explain.
Me and a mate of mine, Blake, we are going to marathon all of the Star Wars movies.
All of them.
All of them.
All of them, including the bad ones.
Including the bad ones, but maybe not including, depending on how we feel, Rogue One and Solo. We might watch those after Episode 9, once we get back from the theater. But we're not sure, just depending on how, like, utterly tired we are.
Yeah. I mean, chronologically, it makes sense to watch Rogue One before you watched A New Hope.
New Hope? Yeah.
Yeah. But, do whatever you want. That's fine.
Yeah, we're thinking we'll marathon the episodes, not just, like, the movies broad, but just the episodes.
Oh, so not all the Star Wars, just the episodes.
Well, I mean, we're just rolling out Rogue One and Solo, like I said.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we might come back to them afterwards. We're also skipping Caravan of Courage and the Ewok Battle for Endor, but who cares,
Yeah. Ooh, how about the Star Wars Holiday Special?
I think we'll skip that. We'll skip that. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard that is a really tough watch. Like, incredibly boring. Here's another one I just said you might be interested in watching. It is a Star Wars The Clone Wars film. Mm-hmm.
I did not know about this.
Me neither. I should watch it. I watched the whole show, but I didn't realize there was a movie.
Is it just like a hypercut of the show? Like, what's going on?
Nope, I don't think so. Here, let's see what Wikipedia says. So it's just one story during the Clone Wars. So it's like just a hyper extended episode of the series.
Okay.
So it's one long sequence of stuff that happens during the first year of the Clone Wars. So it's early.
Man, they couldn't have at least gotten... who's the guy that played Obi-Wan? Hello
Ewan
there.
McGregor?
Yeah, they could have gotten him as a voice actor.
I don't think he did it at all for the show.
That's silly. He should have.
It's a big commitment to do a whole TV show, though. Like, he's doing other stuff.
Yeah, they got Christopher Lee for Count Dooku.
I know, but he's not in every episode, right?
And Samuel Jackson as Mace Windu.
Yeah, they didn't get Natalie Portman for Padme Amidala, though.
Yeah.
So he's not the only one. Also,
They should have. They should have.
They didn't get Hayden Christensen for Anakin either. So
Yeah, but I don't care about Anakin.
leave Ewan McGregor alone. Although, rumor has it he's going to be involved in the Obi-Wan standalone series for Disney+.
It's true. I've heard that.
So I imagine that works because they tossed him about $8 billion. Like, here, we really need a reason for people to get Disney Plus again. Because everybody left after Clone Wars.
I sure did.
Yeah. I wonder, like, the only people that stick around after The Mandalorian's over are basically people that have kids, right?
I would assume so.
I mean, although
Unless
they
you-
do have all
I
The
don't know.
Simpsons, which is pretty good.
Yeah, I did watch a couple episodes of The Simpsons.
Yeah. From
Yeah.
the good times or the bad times of The Simpsons?
A bit of, like, more of the bad. Not more of the bad. More of the good.
Okay.
But some of the bad. Right?
Okay.
Just to be like, how bad is this?
Yeah. And how bad was it?
The episode I got, the one that I picked, was not too bad because it was basically knocking on Game of Thrones, and it was like, oh, it's The Simpsons, but it's fantasy.
Yeah.
Lisa can turn lead into gold, and then
Of course.
there was actually a pretty funny joke about Mr. Burns and his power plant. He has all the a group of workers pushing this big wheel around. And Homer goes up to ask for a raise, and at the same time he goes, while you're at it, can I get a salary anyway? Right. And Mr. Burns just turns to him and explains to him, points out the window, that the reason they had to push the wheel is not to generate any kind of power. The wheel isn't even connected to anything. And I was just like, the rumors are true.
That's pretty good.
So it wasn't too bad. It was, for the newer seasons, it wasn't too bad.
Yeah. I distinctly remember watching an episode in... How long ago was it? Maybe 4 or 5 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
And at the end, just being incredibly flabbergasted at how consistently bad the episode was.
Yeah.
And I think that was it. I think that's the last episode I've watched start to finish. That was it. They lost me entirely with that. It was sad.
Okay.
It was a sad day. So it's been a long time since I've watched anything. Let's see. If your episode was Game of Thrones, it was
kind of Game of Thronesy. More fantasy.
Yeah. But I mean, if it's referring to, is it referring specifically to Game of Thrones at all?
I think the title did, which is why it's in my mind that it was. But it felt just like almost more D&D fantasy.
Oh, some more generic Dungeons and Dragons stuff.
Yeah, like there was a slime cube that lived with the Simpsons for some reason.
Oh yeah, that's definitely not Game of Thrones specific. Okay.
No, but I think the episode title was. That's why it's
Gotcha.
in my head though.
Yeah. So whatever it was from, whatever. Whatever or never. But yeah, as far as like new content is concerned, I guess they have some kind of Lady and the Tramp live action coming to Disney Plus, which I don't care about. Of course, you're like, what's Lady and the Tramp? Well,
Yep,
let me
sure
tell
am.
you, Samacron. Lady and the Tramp is an animated Disney movie from when I was a kid about dogs and their romantic relationships, because that's Disney. It's responsible for creating an entire generation of furries.
Okay.
Yeah. So bottom line, Lady is it's a dog that has owners and they're fairly well off and she's well groomed and taken care of. And the Tramp is a street dog and they meet and blah, blah, blah. And then there's a spaghetti dinner scene and yeah.
Okay.
I'm not telling you to watch it. I'm just giving you context as to what this is and what they live actioned for Disney Plus in an attempt to get people to stay, which is hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah, that's so. Yeah, the Ewan McGregor Obi-Wan show can't come soon enough. Is what I'm trying to say.
That'll season 2 of The Mandalorian.
Or that, but that's not till like fall. Although, what I'm seeing here, the Obi-Wan Kenobi show might not debut until later in 2020, so it might be a while since we get anything cool. I don't think they'd air it at the same time as The Mandalorian, right? If they're smart, they space them apart.
Yeah, they space them apart if they were smart.
Yeah, I agree. I concur. You know what's annoying is anymore if you search the release date of anything that's coming out, the first results are these garbage websites that like make stuff up and just try to get you to click on stay on their side as long as they can.
Like what? Name names. Shame them.
Like Digital Spy. Hate Digital Spy. Looper's pretty bad. Inverse.com is pretty bad. There's another one that's actually not on the Screen Rant can be bad. Den of Geek is another bad one. Games Radar sucks. I'm naming names here. Yeah. It's just, I don't know. All I want is legit news sources, or like a couple of them here are things like Star Wars Fandom, which is pretty good as far as information goes, I would guess. But anyway, yeah, I wish there were fewer of those. And they exist because people click on them, and then they get posted up to other... It's annoying. What are you laughing at?
Screen Rant. Obi-Wan Kenobi movie updates fans should know. And it's like a list of 8 things. And like, one of them is, Qui-Gon Jinn could possibly feature in the film. And then the next one is, it could possibly launch on Disney+.
Wow. Thanks for the information, Screen Rant. You're the best.
Yeah. You're amazing.
Gross. Blah, 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 blah. Something. So it says, nobody knows. They'll announce something eventually, but yeah, sometime 2020 would be good for them, I think. I'm interested in that, especially if they have Ewan McGregor.
For sure.
And it's supposed to take place basically between Revenge of the Sith and New Hope, right?
Yeah.
So when he's living on Tatooine or possibly doing other stuff. We don't know how long he's been hiding out on Tatooine, right?
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure the implication at the end of number 3 is that he's there till number 4.
Yeah.
Right.
But I mean, who says he has to stick around?
No, nobody. But I mean, they're just directly changing what happened in the movies now. Right.
Are they?
Yeah, because like Luke's known that he's been there the entire time. He's like, oh, he's some old hermit that's always been here. All right.
Yeah, but Luke's 17.
Right.
And but he's been conscious for 10 years. Like, aware of the world around him, right?
Sure.
And but even then, like, he doesn't see him every day. Obi-Wan could have taken a holiday somewhere, and Luke would have never known.
Sure. Theoretically possible in this small backwater town where nobody ever leaves or anything changes, and Luke is stuck there perpetually moisture farming. Obi-Wan Kenobi is doing other stuff, even though he's kind of there to look over Luke. Sure. Right. I'm not saying that's not what's going to happen in the movie. I know, like, it's going to be Obi-Wan does something and goes somewhere. Right? Because it can't not. That's like the definition of a movie. But it's still kind of annoying that they're going to take every little piece of everything and twist and change it to make it fit.
Again, there's a huge gap in the history of Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's like Revenge of the Sith happens. He goes, I'm going to go in hiding. And then we don't see him until he's Alec Guinness and 1,000,000 years old later. Right. Which is hilarious, by the way. He goes from Ewan McGregor to Alec Guinness in 16 years, right?
Yeah.
That's some hard living, Obi-Wan.
Hey, man, Tatooine is a rough place.
It's a rough place. But maybe it's rough living because he has all these adventures in the meantime. And,
maybe.
He encounters some kind of crazy, psychologically scarring monster that gives him white hair and ages him. Like I mean, that, right?
Frankly, okay, so there's a video that I'll try and find later, but it's in the Discord somewhere. It's the Star Wars, but like if it was an anime opening.
Okay.
Have you seen those? They popped up somewhere in there.
I did not watch them though.
Okay, they're actually really good. They get all like the key visuals from like the prequels and mar them perfectly with the symmetry. It rhymes like poetry from the originals. And they're honestly better watching than the prequels actually are.
Okay.
But I then, when I was like binging those, I saw there was another video, and it was Obi-Wan remembers what happens, and it's just Obi-Wan as he talks to Luke and giving him the Anakin's lightsaber.
That's a good one. I've seen that. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
and it's just flashback, and I could see, an Obi-Wan who's just been sat there by himself, living as a hermit, with nothing to do but think and reflect on like the final moments of him with his friend, and then hearing all these reports coming in. Well, not reports, but he's like picking up on stuff that's going around the galaxy about what Lord Vader is doing, and knowing that it's Anakin.
And knowing that Vader's son is living next door. Yeah.
Yeah, and like the mental stroll that could take could age Ewan McGregor into Alec Guinness.
It's true. But I just don't see him as the type of person who would just sit and stew for 15 years, you know?
Well, he's not stewing. He's looking over Luke, right? He's watching over
Okay,
Luke.
he's watching over a moisture farmer boy.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's not exciting work, but boy is it is.
I'm just saying, I would be okay if they decided that Obi-Wan went on some adventures of his own. Maybe someone else contacted him and needed his help and figured out where he was and he went to help them. Obviously, we know from something that freaking Darth Maul tracks him down.
Yes, and they
What's
fight.
that? Is that Rebels? That's Rebels.
That's Rebels, yeah.
Yeah, which I haven't watched. I'm just aware of that particular part of
Yeah.
the story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very strange.
Yes.
Like
Like,
what happened
maybe-
to Darth Maul's lightsaber?
Does he have it back in Clone Wars? Because he's in Clone Wars.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he has it back.
He fights Obi-Wan on Tatooine, like Old Man Obi.
With a double-bladed
Tatooine.
lightsaber?
I think, well, it doesn't even have to be a double bladed one, just a red lightsaber. Like, that's what matters. Like, where did that one go? That's what I'm
Oh,
curious
the one
about.
that he brought to that fight.
Yeah. I'm not saying it has to be the one from Phantom Menace, but
Okay, yeah.
Just-
Well,
just
maybe
a
Obi-Wan
lightsaber.
buried it in the sand like Rey did. Jedi like burying lightsabers in the sand.
of course, yeah.
Just in the sand somewhere. Now there's 3 lightsabers buried in the sand in Tatooine.
Well, yeah, I can just imagine Obi-Wan knelt down to the ground,
Yes.
placed Darth Maul's lightsaber on the ground, focused and pushed it into the sand, swallowed it up, and then
Exactly.
turned, looked over his shoulder, and lit his lightsaber for no reason.
Correct.
Then roll credits.
And then somebody walking by said, "You, what's your name?"
I'm Rey. Rey Mysterio.
I'm Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan Skywalker.
Obi-Wan Star Wars.
Gross. Anyway, yeah. I'm excited for it. What they're gonna do. I don't know. Like, The Mandalorian was okay. I know you had it on your top 10 shows of 2019, but
If it's on my top 10 of 2019 shows, because I don't think I watched 10 shows in total.
oh, okay. So it doesn't
Or at
necessarily
least-
mean that it's awesome.
Well, no, I do think it's really good, right?
Okay.
I think it deserves to be somewhere on that list, but
Yeah.
probably the bottom 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of like Witcher. I feel like both Witcher Season 1 and Mandalorian Season 1 were kind of rough and choppy and good, but not great. But they both set themselves up for really nice seasons, too. Season 2s. So I have high hopes for both of them. I think they can be good.
Okay.
Excellent,
Well,
even, possibly. All the pieces are there.
Definitely.
Yeah. Yes, Star Wars.
The Star Wars.
The Star Wars. So in others, I watched Netflix's Dracula over the weekend.
Oh, yeah. How is it?
So it's 3 episodes of 90 minutes each.
Okay.
And every episode is basically somewhat standalone.
Okay.
They all have different settings, and they all kind of have different stories going on. But anyway, super good. It's
Okay.
pretty fantastic. I don't know. Maybe super good is too strong. I think it's good, and I enjoyed it, and I wasn't bored, which is nice. I think the ending is a little bit weak, but again, as I've realized over the years, endings are hard, and maybe I should just, if something ends well, I should consider that amazing instead of just like, oh yeah, they nailed the ending, good for them. Like, I should be impressed by this, is I think where I should go with this now.
Okay.
Anyway. Yeah. It's good. It's Dracula. I mean, you're familiar with the mythology. Everybody is.
I am. So I recently got upgraded to DM for my D&D group.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I decided to run, I'm going to run, I haven't run it yet, Curse of Strahd, which is basically Dracula.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah. So, the players get trapped in a land, and there's like 3 cities. One of them's like Wallachia, and then Strahd is basically a vampire. He's up there in like Castle Ravencroft, I think it's called, or Ravenloft.
Hmm.
He can turn into a bat or the mist. He's hurt by sunlight.
Crosses.
Yep. Holy objects,
Yep,
wooden
yep.
stakes, the whole shebang.
Fire's bad too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The players at some point get they can get, they don't have to, a sword that's made of sunlight. It's basically a lightsaber.
Holy
But-
crap. That's awesome. Okay.
Yeah, and that'll do extra damage if they find him. Hopefully none of my players listen to this. No, my brother does, but oh well. Yeah, once they get there, they'll be like, okay, I know what this is, and then I just have to trust them not to look up the answers. So,
Gotcha. Yeah, please don't ruin the campaign for yourselves.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's hilarious.
I'm getting a little vampired out. It's draining me because I made the mistake of watching all the Twilight movies, and then
That was a mistake. Hmm.
while preparing for Strahd, and then there's this new Dracula thing out that I've been hearing everyone talk about.
Right. So you're like, that's so much Dracula. It's true. It's a lot of Dracula.
It's a lot of vampire.
I think I'm mostly impressed with the guy who plays Dracula nails it. Like at no point do I feel like he's cheesy or anything but threatening and abjectly terrifying. It's good.
Okay.
And the Van Helsing counterpart is really well done too. So those two aspects they nailed. And I think if you nail those two things in a Dracula story, you're doing all right.
Those will be the 2 things I try and nail then.
Yeah. If you mess those two things up, you're kind of screwed. But focus on those and you'll be okay.
Yep.
Yeah, it's run by Stephen Moffat and Mark Gatiss, who I first started being aware of in the Doctor Who reboot.
Mm-hmm.
And then they also did Sherlock. Is it a reboot? Kind of. I guess it's a reboot on BBC.
Sure.
Yeah, which I really enjoyed. And I was wondering why we weren't getting any more Sherlock. And then I watched the opening credits for Dracula, and I was like, that's where they've been. That's why we don't get any Sherlock. They've been making this for the last who knows how long. So it's fine.
Sure.
I mean, I didn't really enjoy the last season-ish of Sherlock that much, so if they're done with it, I'm okay with it. I'm not, like, begging them to make more.
Yeah. Yeah, they can leave that where that is.
Yeah, I think it's okay.
Yeah.
Acceptable.
Certainly is.
So anyway, check out Dracula. It's on Netflix, which means it's available anywhere in the entire world because it's a Netflix original. Because Netflix is currently throwing all of the money at anybody that they can get to come make original content for them.
Mm-hmm. True fact. They have to compete with like Hulu and Disney Plus and whatever else now. They're no longer the only streaming on the internet. So,
Yeah, Amazon Prime.
oh yeah, they're a thing. I forget they're a thing, but they're a thing.
They're a thing. I mean, 2 of the things I loved last year, The Expanse and The Boys, were on Amazon Prime.
It's true. Getting any more of The Expanse, or is that done?
That's done. Short
Okay.
season and released all at the same time. So it's done. It's finished. So from what I've gathered, I'm in a Facebook group for The Expanse, and it's kind of a mixture of show fans and book fans and people who love both.
Mm-hmm.
And the general consensus I've heard from the book readers is that they took a book that's kind of slow and not the best one and improved it in the show version. That's basically what this season was taking an entire book and just distilling it down to like 8 episodes, an hour each. And they said it's just good. It moved better than the book did. It did some things better. Some things were worse, obviously, but I think overall the consensus is that it was really well done. And some people like the season better than they like the book. So that's a good sign. If you can make a TV show that's better than the book that a lot of people love, you're doing something right.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So it's good. Yeah, like The Expanse. There wasn't as much space battle stuff as I wanted. I love the space battle in The Expanse. It was really more being on a planet than anything else, but there was still some good space stuff. They didn't ignore it entirely. And I think next season's going to be crazy with space stuff because, spoiler alert, it ends with like these pirates launching rocks at Earth. So that's bad news. Because who needs missiles when rocks will do as much damage as missiles will?
So there is more.
Yeah, there's going to be more. The books are definitely not done.
So when I said there's going to be more, you said no, and then there is more. Okay.
Oh, yeah. I thought you meant for the season.
No.
Nope, season's over, but there will definitely be more Expanse TV for sure.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Like
Fair enough.
Expanse.
And yeah, you don't need missiles.
No, right?
No. Because it's just mass and velocity that gives you force.
Because what killed the dinosaurs was a rock from outer space. That's all you need, man.
No, it was not the rock. It was their hubris to think that nothing could defeat them. So mighty they strode across the earth.
I mean, that is what I was taught in American school. So, yep.
Yeah, I can see 6 dinosaurs in a boardroom meeting. So we're thinking about starting a company called ExxonMobil. What do you think?
I mean, they could, because dinosaurs were on the Earth for a long time.
It's true.
Some of them had turned to oil by the time the later ones were around.
It's true.
Yep.
That joke works on so many levels.
So many levels. That's the crazy thing, right? Like, you think about dinosaurs and they were around, but no. They were around for millions and millions and millions of years, way longer than humans have existed on the Earth. Many cajillions of times longer. Mm-hmm. Which is so hard for us to comprehend, because for us, like, the beginning of human history is forever ago. But compared to the entire lifespan of the Earth and the dinosaurs' time on the Earth, it's nothing. It is a blink of an eye.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We are latecomers to this Earth, and we haven't been around very long.
It's true. But we've done the most with it.
True.
So I think that's what counts.
Yep. That's what counts. Very human of you to say. Very
good. The disguise is working.
Humerocentric disguise. Let us consume food like humans do instead of robots, I guess. Oh, you'd be a dinosaur. That doesn't work. What would dinosaurs say if they were trying to pass as human?
That was a good question.
Stuff about maybe cooking, right?
Maybe. They're just kind of like
this meat and hold it over the fire for an extended period of time.
Yeah. Or let us all lounge around and stare at the screen, right?
Yeah.
Dinosaurs don't watch TV. So.
Heck no. There's a lot of things dinosaurs don't do.
They don't do anything anymore.
I know. That's true. Unless it's Jurassic Park, in which case dinosaurs do a lot of stuff, and most of it is killing people.
Most of it is killing people, yes. Yeah.
You know, if I had a bunch of money, like all the money in the world, I would try to get the license to the Jurassic Park IP.
Okay.
And make a new Jurassic Park and, make it look like all the other ones in the trailers, but then all it is like the peaceful operation of a theme park where nothing goes wrong. Like, the conflict is like someone loses their kids and they have to send the park police out to find them, and they're fine, right? They're just looking at the Stegosaurus. And that's the whole movie. Would that be great? Because everybody's so conditioned to everything go wrong.
And then nothing goes wrong.
Yeah, it might be a nice change of pace. There's part of me watching these movies that's like, I just want to see what it looks like when things are working. Can we get just a little bit of that? But no, everything goes wrong instantly in these films. We never get any of that.
It's true.
I mean, okay, I don't know if it's the latest one because I lose track, but the one where the brothers are like in the little bubble ball touring around the Triceratops range, they have like 45 seconds of the park is working, right?
In the ball? No, it's a little bit longer than that. They get like a couple hours. Like,
right. But I mean screen time, right?
Oh, screen time.
Couple of minutes.
Yeah, maybe like 5.
Yeah. So that's not fair. There are moments where it shows what the park looks like when it's working.
Yeah.
I just want a whole movie of it. I think it'd be great.
Sure. But I Maybe you could do something with the license. I don't really trust people who typically have made the last two movies, which have not good.
Yeah.
They've definitely been quite not good. I don't think they have the vision to imagine how a dinosaur theme park would work, right?
Maybe not.
Because they're starting out from the goal of this has to fail.
Yeah, absolutely. Because the first Jurassic Park, that's what it was. Everything went wrong, and it was hugely popular. And it's popular because everything went wrong, right?
Yeah. The first park didn't even get to open.
Right. Because it went wrong before it even opened.
Yeah,
exactly.
It was like, we've got like a VIP tour coming along. Mr. Archaeologist and sexy Jeff Goldblum, come check it out.
Oh, yeah.
And then he gets his shirt off and something else happens. I forget the rest of the movie.
Kind of get lost after that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what the response would be. I wonder if, because a lot of people would be mad because there's no dinosaur rampaging, which is why a lot of people go to see Jurassic Park movies. In fact, maybe everybody. Right? Like, I don't know anybody who goes hoping to see a peaceful movie and not getting it and being disappointed every time.
Yeah, no, I don't. Yeah, no, people go to see dinosaurs kill stuff.
Correct. And people.
It's basically
especially
like a kaiju movie at this point.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. So much kaiju. Yeah.
But yeah, the reaction to, like, I don't know, do you think people watch, like, SimCity Let's Plays? Because that's kind of what that would be.
Right. But I don't think those people would go to it not knowing what it is, right? If I advertised it as a peaceful Jurassic Park, those people would go. But if I just kept it a secret and let every people assume it was a standard Jurassic Park, those people would not go. Right? So the first round of people would be upset because it wasn't dinosaurs eating people, but then word of mouth would get around and maybe a new group of fans would come along happy about what the new version of Jurassic Park is.
I mean, it sounds like you want to release, like, a VR experience more than a movie.
What?
Why? Just, like, why? Because then you could just let people put the headset on and, you know, explore a virtual world that's just a theme park running how it should, but there's dinosaurs.
Yeah.
I think that would sell better.
I don't know. It has to be VR.
I think. I feel like it would do better in VR.
Okay.
Because not a lot of virtual walk around experiences work just with, like, a monitor. Like, I've never really heard of many of those. I'm sure they exist, but there's, like, tons of stuff where it's like, oh, put on the VR and now you're in Mos Eisley Cantina.
Yeah. Right. You too can shoot Greedo first.
My flunky.
Yeah. Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's what Greedo yells.
That's so weird. Stop. Why George Lucas can't hurt us anymore? I don't know how motivated Disney is to screw with the old movies. All right, enough worrying about Disney. We'll conquer the world. It's fine. It's fine. Have we talked about the ESL thing at all? I think we have.
No, we haven't.
So, long story short, you guys probably know if you're listening to this podcast, but Blizzard announced that they would not be partnering with WCS or doing their own WCS stuff anymore for major tournaments in 2020, and that they would be partnering with ESL for the major tournaments of the year.
Not even 2020, but 2021 and 2022 as well. It's a 3-year deal.
Yeah, so the foreseeable short-term future.
The best kind of future.
The best kind of future.
Yeah, so instead we're getting it's what DreamHacks and ESL events, right?
Correct.
That's awesome. Yeah.
And probably BlizzCon.
Yeah, there will be something. There will be some presence at BlizzCon, but whether or not it's just like an invitational or something, who knows? I feel like if we could rewind the clock for like 3 years, the BlizzCon event that should happen is Shoutcraft Kings.
Ooh, yeah.
Right? Because that was a very fun event.
Yep.
With players playing very intense games.
Yep.
But apart from, like, the prize pool, no serious stakes, right? It's not like anyone was risking WCS points on best of one.
Right.
So for like a 1 year, like a one-time event, I feel like that would do really well at BlizzCon. But boy, am I happy to see other people running most of the, like, tournaments and stuff now. after this last year's BlizzCon.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, yeah, but what about the other WCS events? You think they were poorly done?
no, but I
But
think
BlizzCon
they were.
had some
They
problems,
weren't.
yeah.
BlizzCon had some problems, and at the other WCS events, I don't think were anything special. And I think hopefully other people can make it special. I'm willing to give other people a chance. I'm willing to be excited about that.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
I think something that might help too is the renaming of the events.
The,
'Cause, like, the winner-
ESL Pro Tour.
Right. But I just mean, it's kind of generic to be like, you won WCS Spring, right?
Sure, and it only makes sense in half the world anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. It's discrimination against the Southern Hemisphere.
Sure is.
Boo. Like WCS
We don't even get
summer.
blizzards.
What are you talking about? It's in the middle of winter.
Tell that to Steam. Then there's summer sale.
And there's summer and winter sales. Yeah.
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 You poor Southern Hemispherers. Maybe one day people will take your lifestyles into account.
Truthfully, we're not that worried about it.
No.
We're too laid back to care.
Nobody in the Southern Hemisphere is that worried about it.
Yeah.
I don't think. There are no really uptight countries down there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
True fact.
So yeah, I think it'll be good. I'd like them to maybe name the major events things that are distinct. Like DreamHack. DreamHack's a great name for I won DreamHack. That's pretty cool.
Right? Yep. But usually it's like DreamHack Austin or something, right?
Yeah, there's a couple different DreamHacks. for
DreamHack
sure.
Montreal. This is named after the city, really.
Mm-hmm. It is. And I think that's more distinctive than naming it after the season in which it was played. Just personally. Maybe some people disagree with me.
I don't think either option is actually that good. It's like either the season it's played or the location it was played.
Yeah.
And the location shouldn't matter, right? Neither
No.
should the season. It's fair, but seasons is like what sports have always done. It's like, oh, this year's NBA season, right? But it's only one season. You don't get 4 in the NBA, right?
Right. No. It's one season.
Okay. Yeah.
And it covers multiple seasons for confusion's sake. I guess I'm just saying I'd like it to have a distinctive name. WCS Spring
I can
is
agree.
worse than DreamHack Austin. And if you have to name it like ESL Tiger Heart, I'm down with that. I just want it to be distinctive. That's all I'm looking
That's
for.
amazing.
It doesn't have to make any sense.
That's amazing. You should absolutely run a tournament called Tiger Heart, and then you can have the Tiger Heart champion.
Yeah.
Come on. That would be amazing.
That'd
It's
be a
like,
good
hi,
one.
I'm 2019's Tiger Heart champion.
ESL Tiger Heart champion Cyril.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
who else would it be? Reina.
Uh,
But,
maybe Rainer.
yeah, maybe Reina.
Maybe Rainer.
That's amazing.
He's the only one that could beat Cyril, so
It's true.
yeah.
Perfect Zerg yin and yang there.
Boys, everybody else real upset about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Should be good. I don't know.
So, if Blizzard's giving up control, does that mean ESL has the power to region lock Korea?
I've heard some things about that.
Okay, what have you heard?
I've heard they're looking at doing that. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Nothing's been announced, but I don't know. I mean, again, the point of the region lock was to improve the quality of play in non-Korean countries. And I kind of feel like it's done that. Like, we just had an Africa World 50, where in the quarterfinals, Seoul, a Polish Terran player, beat Solar in a best of 7.
That's pretty good. Good
That's-
going so.
Pretty good. And I was like, how is this happening? And Laughing Games made the good point. Dude, Seoul plays against Cyril and Rainer on the European ladder a lot. He is used to some crazy good late game Zerg stuff. And there's nothing Solar can do that he hasn't seen a bunch of, right?
Right.
So I kind of feel like we're reaching this goal, even just by having a couple super high tier players, foreigners. It's improving the quality of play throughout the rest of the world.
I wonder if that's not the region lock specifically, but the collapse of the Pro League and the Team House formula in Korea. Because prior, all the Koreans wouldn't, you couldn't just sit on a ladder and be like, okay, yes, I'm going to play 10 top level Korean Terrans and then know what Korean Terrans do. Because all the Korean Terrans were in their team houses playing customs for practice. That's how they would work and grind out their problems, right? It wasn't just grinding ladder.
Yeah.
So but Cyril, while he's on Team Ents doesn't have any other StarCraft players he doesn't have anyone to practice with, so he's forced to practice on ladder.
Yes.
Or go out of his way to ask other pros, who I'm sure would be eager to get the chance to practice with Cyril.
Totally.
But the more that you practice against a single one person, the more that one person knows more about you. So that's a double-edged for him.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So is it specifically that, he's playing against Raynor and Cyril? Or is it, Solar doesn't have the same practice environment that he's used to having anymore?
It's honestly probably a combination of both. I wouldn't be surprised if both were major factors here.
Probably.
But regardless, again, the point of the region lock was to improve or level the quality of play between Korea and the rest of the world. And, whether it's coincidence or not, that has happened over the last few years.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it's time to get rid of it and just put everybody on the same playing field in all these tournaments. And I really feel like the foreigners in general have a higher level of confidence against the Koreans than they did 5 or 6 or 7 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'd be good. I personally support the idea.
Yeah, I get behind it. I'm going to give it a try, because you can always region lock it again. If Koreans come out of Korea and they just win everything and there's no prize money for the foreigners, you can just lock them back up.
Exactly. Exactly. Pretty easy to do, turns out.
Yeah. They're already landlocked. It's fine. Well, not landlocked. They're an island, essentially.
Peninsula.
For travel purposes.
Yes.
Well, let's just, for travel purposes, it's not like you can drive through the rest of the island.
True.
The peninsula.
Fact.
So we'll pretend they're an island. It's fine.
Yeah, just like Australia.
Speaking of island StarCraft, Ozcraft Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That went on.
You know who won?
Yeah. Future of Terran.
Yep, that's right. American flew in, won the whole darn thing. Good job, Future. Way to show those Aussies who's boss.
Representing the NA. To be fair, Probe, probably one of the better Australians,
Yes.
did not get to play for the second day because he wanted to go to a K-pop concert.
What? Probe, where are your priorities? With
To be fair.
K-pop, apparently.
Okay, well, he's trying to learn from the Koreans. He's just not trying to learn StarCraft.
How often do K-pop bands come to Australia?
I do not know.
Okay.
And to be fair, my source for this is someone on Twitter was talking about it. The running joke, however, on the stream was that he lost his spot in the finals in poker that night. So,
Fantastic.
either option could be true. Either is annoying.
Absolutely. No good choices here.
But other than that, it was a good tournament. There was lots of fun content being had. They had Roddy and Zombie Grub fly in.
Nice.
Yeah. You get to stay in a 12-bedroom mansion in Victoria.
That sounds like a lot of fun. That's cool. That's a long flight for most everybody in the world, it turns out. But for once, the Aussies didn't have to go anywhere, so that's nice.
Well, that's the interesting thing. Maynard and Pig were not there.
I thought Pig was going to go. Pig was tweeting about it.
I don't think he went, because I never saw him cast a game.
What the crap? Didn't he play?
Who, Pig? No, Pig's little brother, Pig Jr., played. What? Did pretty well, came fourth.
Nice. New generation of Pig.
Yeah. The kid's 9, but he looks 6 feet already, because Pig's giant.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is he really 9 years old?
No, he's 14, I think.
What's his
14.
player name?
Pig Jr.
I'm looking at the players. Is it Notorious Pig?
Oh, yeah, that's on Team Liquid. It would be Notorious Pig.
Also known
Notorious
as
PIG. Yeah.
Pig Jr. I got it.
Yeah.
He is born in 2001. So he is not 9, that's for sure.
He's double that.
Yeah. So, yeah, nicely done. Yeah, he took 4th place.
Mm-hmm.
behind future. We had 2 Americans who took first and second place.
Mm-hmm.
Good heavens! Come on, Probe. Where were you? Save the country. So many Terrans too. That's one thing I looked at when I saw the bracket.
Oh yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Terrans in the round of 16.
Mm-hmm.
Woo! And then the semifinals was all Terrans and a Protoss. If you're a TVT fan, this was the tournament for you.
There was a fair bit of TVTs. At least like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I like TVTs. I've been casting some more TVTs than usual because I've been doing Nation Wars full series recently for my Sunday casts. And yeah, some good TVTs. I like TVT. It's fine as far as mirror matchups go.
Mm-hmm.
And if the ZVZ is long enough, I think it's interesting. And PvP can be kind of fun too. So, I don't know. Mirror matchups aren't a terrible place right now, I don't think. Which is nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. I really can't think of a matchup that I like least. So, good job, whoever's in charge of that kind of thing.
You can't think of a mirror matchup you like least?
Any matchup at all.
ZVZ?
Well, okay. If we're taking everything into consideration, yes. If it's a ZVZ that ends in 4.5 minutes because of one bailing hit, that sucks.
I'm going to have that on loop just for when we next play 2v2s and we get like all Zs and you're going to be like, I wish I could... And then I'm just going to be like, but you said you like all matchups equally. All right, why are you complaining?
I have a condition for ZVZ. It's a fair point. Yar. Anyway, yeah, good job, Oscraft. So the first one ever?
Yes, the inaugural.
Yes, I see that now.
I have no idea if they intend to do more.
I think they should.
That'd be good. I would like it. But who knows how much it costs to run? Flying Americans in? Oof.
Yeah, if they paid for Zombie Grub and Roddy to come in, that's expensive.
Mm-hmm.
I think the plane ticket for Roddy might be more? I don't know.
Who knows?
Because it's the Netherlands, which is way, way north.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? I don't want to look it up.
Man, I saw like a hilarious... I think it was Fear Dragon in chat at the time. Someone was like, oh my god, did they fly Roddy down? And Fear Dragon's just like, no, he drove. Oh, it killed me.
That guy. I'm trying to decide if he actually upset Raynor the other day on Twitter or if Raynor's just messing around. Did you see that?
Was this the pizza thing?
Yes.
I think I saw... Well, I know if I knew it's the pizza thing, I know most of it. But,
I don't know. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, no. I went to pull it up on Twitter, and I saw that a headline that Hans Zimmer officially announces No Time to Die's new composer.
Wait,
And
what new composer? You cut out there.
Hans Zimmer.
Oh, yeah.
And I was looking at Hans Zimmer, and I was like, okay, who cares about this? And I'm like, wait, Hans Zimmer? And in my head, I just swapped Zimmer with Gruber.
He's dead.
And fictional.
And very fictional.
So that's why I was just stunned at this headline naming a fictional composer for their new movie.
It's pretty good. Yes,
Let's have a look at
Zimmer.
this pizza thing.
I can't find it, but he made some pun about StarCraft like he always does and did something about pizza and something that would kind of be offensive to Italians, I guess, maybe.
What did the Chinese players say when a base race started in the French Nation Wars tournament? Chow mein.
Yep, that's one.
And then Raynor replied to that with just 2 question marks. Fear Dragon said, oh, sorry, I forgot you were French. Hope this doesn't offend you. And then Raynor responded to that with a blacklist that just says Fear Dragon Special in Gemini.
And I don't know if that's real or not. You think it's
It's not.
It's jokes?
It's jokes. It's all jokes.
Okay. I have a hard time with it sometimes. It's fine.
It's all jokes.
All right, good.
Right.
Good. Well, I'm glad there's no real blacklists out there because that would be sad.
It's true.
Yep.
Except for the TV show, Blacklist.
Except for the TV show Blacklist, which I stopped watching.
Yep, because it's bad.
Because it's bad. All right, before we go, quick sports minute.
Fuck.
So
Sure.
okay, ready? We're ready to go?
No, I'm not ready. Give me a
Okay.
minute.
All right.
I need to find my clock. All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
As the recording of this podcast is happening, I am currently watching the national championship for college football on the other screen. LSU just scored a touchdown to go up 27-17 with 10 seconds left in the half. It looks like it's going to be an incredible national championship game. Both teams look pretty good. There were some early jitters involved, but offenses have settled down. There have been really great big plays. I mean, being up 28-17 at this stage of the game is not unovercomable. So by the time you listen to this, you'll have listened or watched the whole thing. If you care about it, you'll already know the outcome, but I just got to say, I hope the second half is as good as the first one because everybody deserves a good college football championship experience, no matter who you are. And that's it for my minute. It is shorter this time. And this is the part where Somicron sits there in silence until the minute is over.
Stop.
And there it is.
You get the full minute. Whether or not you use it or not is entirely up to you.
I know how this works. Been around the block before.
You were watching football. Was it football?
Yes.
during the podcast?
Kind of. Could you tell?
Yeah, no, but that's now that I know, I'm annoyed.
If you couldn't tell, what does it matter? I wasn't watching it the whole time. I'd glance over and check the score and then go back to the pod. It's fine. It's fine. You'll be all right. I
How am I
promise.
feeling? Can we real deep, Shrek?
So deep. Wait. Does that make you a donkey?
Yeah, I assume so.
Do I want to be Shrek or donkey in this scenario?
You're Fiona.
Oh, I get to be Fiona. Cool. That's fine, I guess. On that note,
On that note, let's wrap up.
let's wrap it up. Thanks for listening to another edition of the Falcon Paladin Hour. Again, check out the merch store. Check out the Patreon page to support the pod. Again, weekly pod, free to you. If you want to support it, go ahead. We will not say no. And until next time, as always, thanks for listening. Thanks for spending your time with us this week. And you take care of yourself.